Welcome. We're so excited that you're here today to hear a little bit more from the wonderful folks at Unity, specifically about technology and Asian American Pacific Islanders in celebration of AAPI Heritage Month. And we're so pleased to have Misha, Charlene, and Yvonne here to share a little bit more about their experience in technology. And I would love for everyone to just go around and introduce themselves to start with. Um, I'm Annie Carnahan. My pronouns are she and her, and I am Unity's diversity recruiting lead. And I'm so pleased to be here in this conversation. Misha, would love to hear from you.
Thanks, Annie. My name is Misha. I use she, her pronouns. I am on the inclusion team and work with our employee resource groups here at Unity. Charlene?
I'm Charlene. I'm a technical project manager in the global localization team here at Unity. So we take care of Unity's translation and interpreting needs. I don't really care about pronouns, and that's because in Chinese, everything is ta, like man, woman, dog, whatever. So to me, pronouns have never really been very important.
Yeah. Um, Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm on the customer experience team, and yeah, my pronouns is she and her. I'm very happy to be in this conversation.
Fantastic. Thank you all. So maybe let's start with Yvonne, since we just heard from you. How did
Yeah.
you get to where you are today here at Unity, and how did you end up finding your space in the tech world?
Mhm. First of all, I want to say like I'm still pretty new to Unity. I'm here like for I just had my 1 year anniversary last month, I think. You know, now I'm on the customer experience team. So basically, we're just helping users with their questions related to our games or digital twins products. And yeah, previously I did political communication and journalism. It sounds quite irrelevant to technology, to be honest, but I do feel that like the skills I gained when I was in my university, like research skills and writing skills, they served me a lot in my work. Like sometimes I can just analyze like what could be the issue of the like cause of our users' issue, or like try to write some internal documentation just to help ourselves, also our users to just resolve their issue. So I think all those things I've learned in the past are serving me very well now. And regarding finding my space in tech, as I said, I'm pretty new, so I have a space now, but I'm not quite sure if I find my final destination. I would say I'm still on my way and I know where I'm going. So yeah, just keep learning and exploring, and that's it. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I think we're all still very much on our own journeys. No one's reached the final destination yet.
Yeah.
Totally. Charlene, what about you? How did you get to where you are today?
So I'm going to start a bit further back when I was in elementary school. I always had a fascination with languages, I think, because back then the Hong Kong music scene was really big. So there were the Four Heavenly Kings in Hong Kong, and I remember trying to learn Cantonese on my own to sing the music. And when I grew like I was older, my teenage years, J-pop became big. So I started teaching myself Japanese so I could sing the songs. And I've always been interested in language, but Asian parents, they're like, please study something useful. So I was like, okay, I'll do something that, my parents would approve of. So I did computer science at University of Texas at Austin, but I also did a double major in Japanese, and that kind of kept me, like, gave me a good outlet, creative sort of outlet. After that, I realized that I don't quite enjoy programming. It kind of felt like sitting in the dungeons underground, just slowly working away. So I was thinking, what else can I do with this? And I think it was around when I was about 30, the technical writing became a bit more well known. When I was 20, nobody knew about it. So I was like, I like writing and I have a background in coding, so maybe I can do this. So I took the certificate course at University of Washington, It was about 9 months. And immediately after I finished that course, Nintendo of America hired me on as a localization specialist. And one of my roles there was to every day translate the Unity for Switch developer manual. And that's basically how I came to know about Unity and how I somehow landed myself in the video game industry. Mhm.
That's fantastic. I appreciate the starting further back too. It's always interesting, so interesting to hear what brought people to this point. And usually, yeah, it starts really, it starts further back. What about you, Misha? What was your journey like into your space and tech?
I really fell into tech. I would call myself lucky for sort of being in the right place at the right time in a young startup company that was able to take me under their wing and really invest in my professional development. So I uh, went to college, graduated, didn't entirely know what I was going to do, and just started working in a temporary admin capacity at a company called Niantic. And I got the opportunity to convert full time into their recruiting team, starting as a coordinator and just sort of working my way up and learning from really amazing mentors. A lot of my team actually was Asian women, which was really great to see myself represented that way. And they were not only managers, but very influential mentors for my career trajectory. But I realized that I was connecting a lot more with internal programs than external recruiting, putting in lots of time for people whom you may not actually end up getting to work with on the day to day was less rewarding to me than working with my colleagues who I did really see day to day. And I was an ERG leader there. I now get to work with Charlene and Yvonne on a regular basis as ERG leaders at Unity. And Niantic builds their products on Unity's platform, which is really how I got introduced to Unity. And then had another mentor there who was introducing me to DEI in the corporate world. I'd always been very aware of my positionality in life and took that into like extracurricular activities in school and at work, and was really excited for the opportunity to be able to do it full time here at Unity. But I'm also relatively new. Like Yvonne, I've been here for less than 6 months. So my journey is at the start.
Yeah, well, we are so excited you're doing it here. I get to work with Misha closely, and she's fantastic. Misha mentioned this, and I'd love to explore it a little bit more. But have any of you ever had any mentors of Asian heritage that have really influenced you during your professional life or personal life, I suppose?
I can go. I don't know if she thinks of herself as a mentor because actually, when I think about it, we haven't really interacted a whole lot. But this lady left a very deep impression on me because when I was a technical writer, I used to go to this conference called Write the Docs, and she was one of the speakers there from Google talking. Nicola Yap is her name, and she was teaching everybody about Google's onboarding process, how they train technical writers. And I just remember when I was going through a hard time, I don't know what was going on, but I was just feeling really down. I sent her a message on LinkedIn, and she listened very attentively to my issues, gave me advice, and she said, if you don't feel happy, I can try to, connect you with other people that I know. And when we talked about why there are so few Asian people in technical writing, she kind of prompted me to think about the source of why that might be. And as we all know, a lot of Asian countries don't speak English as a first language. So I think interacting with Nicola really helped me get a sense of purpose on how I can try to evangelize technical writing. And I think also seeing the work that she's doing really prompted me to volunteer as a lead in the Asian ERG so that I too can make a difference.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you never know even what like a small interaction could lead to. And that's really wonderful that you were able to reach out to her because I think sometimes we put barriers in our way to be like, oh, they're too busy, they wouldn't respond. But love to see that that connection was made and that was really meaningful for you. What about you, Yvonne? Any mentors?
I actually haven't like think about it, very deeply. But I think Charlene just reminded me of someone also in the technical writing field. Like previously, I was watching some videos on YouTube, and there's a technical writer. I think she's called Aroma. Like she has a YouTube channel, and she's also in the Write the Dogs, community. I think she's very nice. Like she just created lots of this kind of relevant videos and just share with all those technical writers, no matter like if they are new or if they are very experienced. And I think one thing like Charlene did mention is like English, as it's not that people don't really speak English here in Asian countries. So even for myself, I sometimes feel I'm not very confident with my English, like writing, speaking. So I feel like kind of like seeing those people that are promoting those like our culture and they're promoting like techno writing for non-English speakers. I feel like quite empowered by this and encouraged. Also, Charlene has already actually like encouraged me a lot. So I think, yeah, this is really nice to see, our community is trying to support each other on this, just be more confident. Yeah.
By the way, I think your English is perfect, and I
Yeah.
feel that a lot of us feel very self-conscious because we don't have what standard accent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really glad that you're here with us today, Yvonne.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, your English is wonderful. Misha, I know you mentioned your mentors and what that meant, sort of seeing women like you in front of you. Do you want to add any additional color to that?
Um, I don't need to mention like specific names of them, but it was just kind of the overwhelming feeling of having a strong set of teammates that not only supported me in my personal journey, but who I also personally identified with and shared some life experiences in common. Here at Unity, I'm also blessed to have a team entirely of women of color, and that's pretty unusual in the tech industry. So I really consider them, because they're more senior than me, to be role models for what my future could look like.
I love that. Yeah, no, they're fantastic. And it's so helpful to have those mentors and role models in front of you. Sort of going down the other path of things, we need our mentors and our support system because sometimes you come across obstacles in your professional life. What would you say are some obstacles you still come across in the tech or in the gaming field that we're working in? I don't know, Charlene, if you'd like to start.
So the main thing that I feel is not because I'm Asian, but it's because I'm not a programmer. And I think in a lot of these companies, people who actually write the code are somewhat regarded a little bit better, as in more um, indisposable or something like that. But I think what I would like people to realize is everyone here, whether it's, customer support or inclusion team, we are all important to make the company run. For example, the stuff I do, I make sure your GDC videos have English captions for accessibility reasons, and they get Chinese, Korean, Japanese subtitles. I make sure the education content is in Spanish, and all these things I feel help the company because it makes our content just a lot more accessible to a lot more people.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that work that you do. Misha, what about you? Any obstacles that you come across?
I think that there's some diversity debt to make up, just generally speaking, for companies that grow really, really quickly. Sometimes if the right people are not in the room when important decisions are happening, they can be a blind spot or a gap that needs to be made up later. So like in my role right now, what I notice most is trying to put programs in place that need to keep up with new people continuously infusing the culture and maintaining a specific culture with so many new people joining can be a challenge in and of itself. So that might not even be specific to tech, but more of just a big picture when it comes to larger companies.
Yeah, no, definitely. Gaming in particular has a little bit of a diversity debt to make up for sure as well. Yvonne, what about you in terms of obstacles that you've come across in tech or gaming? Sometimes it's really great to get a fresh perspective of someone who's newer to the field.
Sorry, I was muted. I think for me, I think our team are growing, like also Unity are growing. Like we have lots of products now, like in gaming or in industry, like digital twins, those kind of things. And currently, like we have lots of products, so it's kind of difficult for me to catch up with everything. Like I need to learn every aspect of the product so I can support different users better. And it's really hard for me because I don't have a technical background. So I'm trying to learn from subject matter experts and also other product managers. And yeah, this is one of the thing. And the other thing is I think because I'm based in Shanghai, and due to the time zones, like time difference, we don't really have too much interactions with other people, in UK, in the Europe or like in America. And sometimes we are not very it's not very easy for us to get into all those discussions like of our products. So we always need to read the recordings. I can't ask my questions in a timely manner, so it's kind of difficult for me. Yeah, but I think this is changing. Like we're trying to set up more meetings based on different time zones, but yeah, this is still something that I want it to be changed or make it better.
I
Yeah,
think something I would like to highlight is all our messaging is in English on
like
Slack and
yeah,
email. So you guys have to read it in your second language basically all the time. That's
yeah,
hard. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that definitely could be an obstacle. I hear that for sure. Um, so thinking a little bit about the support from mentors and the obstacles that still exist in tech and gaming, on the positives and the negatives, what message might you give to people from the Asian diaspora who are interested in getting into tech and gaming or who are in tech and gaming and from the Asian diaspora who are interested in just your perspective, any message that you have to give to them? Yvonne, let's start with you since I see you.
Okay, I just share some like opinions from a new starter here because I'm pretty new and just graduated last year. Um, my advice would be, for those new starters, maybe think about if this is the camp, like this is the place that you want to set your camp here, like if this is your passion. And in the meantime, have a like a long term and short term, goals, and just try to make it more specific to think about if this is what you want to do. And just come up with some plans to make your dream come true. And also another very important thing to me is keep exploring. Don't be restricted by your current role or your current vision. Just have a bigger vision of the future and think about it. For new starters in the tech industry, just from my own perspective. Yeah.
No, that's such a good perspective to hear, especially since we know that there are lots of students who are
Yeah.
interested in getting into the industry. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Misha, what about you? Any message you'd want to give to people from the Asian diaspora?
Sure. I think this can apply to almost any new grad or someone looking to transition into the industry. don't discount your soft skills that you have. And in my experience, those are actually more important for being successful in a role than any of the hard skills that are traditionally prioritized in like heavy technical fields, because all of those are skills that you can learn. They're skills that you can perfect on the job. They're skills that you can take courses for or receive instruction for from mentors or teachers. But those soft skills about communication and people management and project management, organization, those play such huge factors in your success in any company. And those are all things that people typically learn through their school experiences, but also life experiences. So just don't be discouraged if the first company that you apply for in the tech industry turns you down. Sometimes it's just not the right opportunity at the moment, but lots of other doors will open.
Absolutely. That's such great encouragement. What about you, Charlene? A message you might want to give to folks who are interested in getting into tech and gaming?
I don't know if this is good, but I want to say just stop listening to your parents, because a lot of Asian parents seem to think that they know everything, and they will probably tell you video games are a big waste of time. You know, all these things are wasting time. Just focus on your studies and, become a doctor, lawyer, engineer. And look at us, like COVID happened and my friends working at Boeing and Delta and Hilton, they're suffering. So I feel like we came out of the pandemic pretty strong with Animal Crossing and all these games. Yeah, I just think that the world changes so much, and a lot of what your parents' generation might believe might not be relevant. So yeah, I would say that if somebody's really interested in something but is facing some kind of, pushback from your folks at home, maybe think about it and try to convince them to sort of see things from your point of view instead of just doing what they want and then realizing like when you're 40 that you're really unhappy. That's my advice.
Such good advice. Thank you, Charlene. So I want to be mindful of time for us and our audience, but thinking of our audience of the Gay Gaming Professionals group, is there anything that you'd like to share with GGP before we sign off?
Okay, okay, I'll go. Um, I don't usually talk about my orientation, and this is probably the first time I'm saying it openly like this, but actually, the only reason I've been able to do that is because of Unity. So prior to coming to Unity, I'm from Singapore, where it's very traditional, conservative, and strict. And I think being gay is still technically illegal. So just watching people go through such a tough time there, I just never felt comfortable sort of acknowledging. I kept trying to push it down and say, I'm normal. But as I got older and then I came to this new company, and I realized that people in the LGBTQ ERG are so openly themselves. Like there's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to hide. And some of them even took me to a meeting room in the office and listened to me sort of, tell them I feel this way and I feel that way. And yeah, it's only because of Unity that I'm now able to tell you guys directly.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Charlene. And I'm so happy that you feel comfortable and confident here at Unity. And we're so happy that you're here and that you're yourself, because you're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I want to highlight is like what Charlene mentioned, like our ERG really, encouraged all of us to be more and like how to say brave enough to share like who we really are and be who we really are, and also like those kind of events. And they're trying to listen to more voices from all around the world, because currently, as Charlene mentioned, in Asian, like this culture is not that prevalent, or people are not that comfortable to talk about LGBTQ related topics. So just want to encourage everyone, you don't need to push yourself, just take it slowly and try to find your own way to make it comfortable. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, we say that we want to help people bring their authentic, full selves to work every day, but it goes beyond that. It requires creating safe spaces for people to explore their identity on their own time, on their terms, in a way that makes them feel included and validated and psychologically safe before they can feel so open and vulnerable with their colleagues who they may not know beyond interacting through a screen or even just through chat and email. So I'm really proud that GGP is putting this on. I think that their leadership team is fantastic, and I hope they get the chance to work with many other companies so that people can continue normalizing all identities at work. Yes, thanks.
Well, I feel like that's the perfect way to wrap up and end it. Thank you so much, Misha, Charlene, and Yvonne, for your thoughts and just who you are. We appreciate you, and we're so grateful to be able to share with the GGP audience today.
Thank you for having us. And thank you, Annie.
Thank you.